What's up, everybody? Spotchka and Destix back with another episode of the Book of Boba Fett.
What's up, Alex? Thanks, dude.
With a great sigh of relief, I might add. Back to regular Star Wars. No fucking mopeds. Well, kinda, but I don't know. What are you gonna do? They're with his fucking gang now. So this one is a nice 48 minutes long. It's called The Gathering Storm. And basically, we start off with this one. He's in the tank yet again. And we go straight into a flashback scene. So he's like, you get a little flashback of him burning the Tuscans and everything. And it's just like him like wandering around, riding a bantha and whatnot. He goes up to Jabba's palace, and he's got like the scope on his gun, and he's looking around and whatnot, and he just goes to the bantha. He's just like, not today. So we're wandering around some more. He's having dinner, and here's where we're meeting up with the Mando timeline. We see from the one episode, I think it was I know the episode was called The Gunslinger. And it was not one of my favorite episodes. It got this fucking dumbass kid. He's trying to fucking join the guild and everything. And they go off and they're actually trying to get Fennec. And he looks off and he hears the sound. He looks off in the distance, and he sees those strobes that Mando was throwing up, just to like confuse her spotting with the gun and everything. So he heads out there, and that's where we find him walking up at the end of that episode. And we're back to the cyberpunk people. So apparently they got their own like little like modification club parlor or whatever. And apparently this guy's some like big like EDM guy or whatever. Like they're gonna call him like Thundercat or something like that. I saw the name at the end of the episode. I was trying to figure out like what it was, and you see like Thundercat in quotes. I don't know anything about him. If you guys listen to EDM, you probably do. The track was all right. Maybe not for Star Wars on Tatooine. Like yet again, like this is such like seems like such a Coruscant thing. Like his shot doesn't seem that far off from something you'd see on Tatooine. But still, it's just, I don't know, man. It's more of a Coruscant thing. You see one of the scooters out front and shit. It's whatever. Basically, he fixes her all up and shit. And of course, she wakes up, freaks out because all the fucking gears are out and everything. So then they, then they're sitting by the fire and everything. They're having a talk. This is pretty much like everything we hear in that trailer is just like, I'm Boba Fett, like lost to the sands and left to die on fucking Tatooine and all that. So he's telling the story of him staying with the Tuscans and whatnot, and what his plan's gonna be. He wants to take down not Java, but fucking Bib Fortuna and everything. She's like, well, what's your plan? He's like, I want to get my gunship back, the fire spray. Well, they didn't say Slave 1, and he didn't exactly need to right then, but you could still say my gun, like, since she's at that point, she's just like, okay, you're definitely fucking Boba Fett and knows about him. So if he did say my gunship, the Slave 1, could have worked, but whatever. It is what it is. Fire spray's fine. That's what the ship is called. So whatever. So they sneak into the fucking place. They sneak into the palace. They end up in the kitchen. And there's a couple of droids there. And the captions say, chef droid and sous chef droid. But I'm pretty damn sure that's EV99. It's the same kind of droid, same voice and everything. But yeah, that wouldn't work, would it? Because EV99's at he's at the cantina on Tatooine. He's not at, yeah, I don't know. Same droid, whatever. Chef droid, cool. So they're making up food and everything, and yeah, they get Fennec and Boba get noticed, and they go into attack mode, and fucking like immediately the sous chef robot like droid just fucking straight up turns into like Grievous with all these fucking like 6 knives just spinning around all fucking crazy and shit. I'm gonna call him Grievous droid now. That was pretty funny. So they take down those two droids. And then another droid comes in. It's an LEP droid, which I always thought these things are fucking weird, man. I forget where you see them all through like the prequels. They just look like little fucking weird like rabbits that like run around. They're in the Clone Wars a lot too, the cartoon. I think that's where they first show up, is in the Clone Wars. But I don't know. They made them practical. It's still CG, but it's goofy to see. Yeah, he's chasing this fucking little bunny thing around the fucking kitchen. Finally catches him, throws him against the wall. He's just like, "Do you know who I am?" He's like, "No." He's like, "I'm Boba Fett." And then the droid's like, "Ah!" And it just turns himself off. And then Boba just throws him in the fucking garbage can. So yeah, we get a whole fucking shootout, whatnot. Gets back to the ship. He's got to turn the fucking thing around in that hallway that Luke and the droids walk down. Like, so he's just fucking scraping this thing up against the wall. The fucking guns get jammed, and then Fennec has to hit the fucking hit the counterweight on the door. The door just drops. So they're flying away, and he's like, "I got some scores to settle, or whatever." And Fennec's like, "Hey, I'll come along for the ride. Why not?" So the next shot is just them is fucking pretty cool, like coming up, like the bikes are coming at you, and then you just see him like coming from behind that just fucking blast the shit out of that fucking Niku speeder bike gang and shit. So he takes them all out and just flies away. I was almost thinking, like, and it just uses a fucking proton torpedo on one of them for, like, just good measure, I guess. I don't know why I can't just blast him, too, but whatever. So, yeah, I thought they were going to leave one alive to, like, try and get information or whatever, like, who sent you, or it's just that they went by. But he kills them all. So, badass Boba. Point. I don't know. I should have come up with a point system. It's just like badass Boba and like good guy Boba. Because we get bad guy Boba while doing good in this a lot. So they go back to the Sarlacc pit. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing back at the Sarlacc pit again? Like, I mean, like, alright, kind of fine, but whatever. So he's like flying the fucking Slave One down into this thing, and I don't know, like a couple of the shots, it just didn't add up. Like, it looked like he was actually getting like down low into it, and then I thought when he hit a button at one point, that was going to be a tracking thing, that would say like where his armor was, or if it wasn't that, like the beeping, the beep, 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 like. That wasn't the case. He's looking around with the flashlight and everything, and then you get fucking jump scare because this motherfucker is apparently still alive. Like, but that fucking special edition beak comes out, and the tentacles just grabs the Slave One. So they're all stuck in shit. He's fucking shooting the hell out of this thing. Didn't use proton torpedoes right then, which was kind of weird, but whatever. So this other button's going off, and Fennec is looking up at it. She ends up unbelting herself. And I think this is like one of the sneak peek things that Tamara and Fennec were talking about. He's just like, oh yeah, we're on the gunship, and like it was really cool. We're just hanging there and blah blah. But yeah, she unhooks herself, like jumps on the window, and then fucking ends up hitting the button, which turns out to be seismic charge. Underground seismic charge, like still fucking cool. Still got the sound a little bit more muffled, but yeah, still got a fucking seismic charge. You definitely need one, like at least one per season, right? So needless to say, now the fucking Sarlacc pit is dead. So yeah, they're back at the castle now. Yeah, like Bib 14 is already fucking dead. Like Mando season 2 is definitely over by this time. So they get back there. They're hanging out, and oh yeah, one thing about the fucking Sarlacc pit. The fuck, I always thought Boba's armor wasn't made out of Beskar, but not Durasteel. I always thought I read somewhere that like Boba's was Durasteel, Boba's and Jango's was Durasteel rather than actual Beskar. Apparently not, because he actually says it in the episode. But yeah, he gets out of that pit, and Fennec's like, yo, you're fucking burning up. Like, we need to find you some fucking Bacta is what we need to do. So they bum on back to the fucking palace, and yeah, they're talking back and forth and shit. And Fennec said what, like kind of like like my friends were saying, it's just like his time with the Tuskens made him a little soft, just the way he's talking about things and whatnot. But it's just like, you know what, I should still go out and everything, like just make my face known. So we get back to that bar with the hot Twi'lek chick, and we see Brat Casantan in there. He's hanging out. He's just having a fucking drink. He's staring over at these Trandoshans who are like playing and winning and having a good time. And if you know your Star Wars history, Trandoshans and Wookiees do not get along. So he basically just gets up, starts a fucking crazy bar fight with these Trandoshans for what seems like no reason other than fucking Wookiees hate Trandoshans. So while this is going on, Boba walks in and just stands at the door like, all right, let's see how this plays out. Like he knew how that was gonna fucking play out.
Yeah, but I'm thinking Brander. I'm thinking Cad Bane is what I'm thinking.
Damn, it's still on. But yeah, he just beats the shit out of him. And then it just gets down to like one, and he just fucking picks him up, and he's just holding him. And then hot Twi'lek chick comes back out. It was like fucking whip flip something or other. I don't know. I forgot her name. But she comes out and is basically like, you know what? That's fine. Chill out now. You have a outstanding bar tab. You know what? You let them down. Let everybody get back to their fun and whatnot, and we won't worry about that bill. he just fucking rips his arm off, which I was just screaming the whole time. I'm just like, rip his fucking arms off, man. Rip his fucking arms off. And he does, so I was happy. And then he just fucking he pays his fucking tab, and then he leaves. And him and Boba just kind of exchange a look on the way out. Boba looks at the chick. He's like, at least you tried. Like, then he leaves. And he just beats him in the street and says, hey buddy, I think you might be in need of a job. So we get back to the palace, and here's where we all get the Godfather table scene, like the gangster Boba Fett. You get Fennec walking around the table, like giving that whole speech we saw in the trailers and everything. So we're finally getting the gangster Godfather stuff that everybody thought the show was gonna be. And he like basically gets like the one part where they're like, and why should we trust you or whatever? Like, what makes us not want to, like, not kill you now or whatever? Just take you out. Like, we don't need you. Rancor just slams the bottom of the fucking the cage, which they're all sitting on top of, and everyone's just like, oh shit, like, fuck. And he gives like a little piece of chicken down there. He's like, oh sorry, he's a little hungry right now. So yeah, they all pretty much agree that he's like, you know what, I'll fight this, but he was like, I want to go after the Pikes, get them off of Tatooine. This is not good. This isn't good for business for any of us. If we work together, we can get the Pikes off and just agree to stay to our own territories. No harm, like no one bothers anybody. Everybody benefits. We don't have to have beef like that or anything. They pretty much and like they're just kind of like, fuck that. Like we don't want nothing against this war. And he's like, you know what? Like fucking Thanos fucking deal. Like, I'll do it myself. And they all agree to that. Like, as long as they leave him alone or the Pikes come to him, they'll just be like, nope, not our problem. This is your problem. So, yeah, he's pretty much needs an army now. So we're back on the balcony, him and Fennec. You know, like, so what now? Like, he's just like, they're not stupid enough to go against me. Like, they know that, like, the planet's going to be fucked and they're going to be fucked. The Pikes will eventually take over. And she's basically like, we're going to need an army. She's like, how many, what's our treasure room look like? He's like, I have plenty of credits. And, she's like, with credits, you can buy muscle. And here's where we get, like, straight up fucking Mando theme starts playing. So I have, without a doubt, fucking next episode, we're going to get Mando in some shape or form. Don't know if it's going to be like a transmission thing or like he's going to fucking, Boba's going to dip off to Mandalore. Nobody knows exactly where they're at right now. I would assume with how the timeline is, like, he's dealing with Bo-Katan and the Darksaber business on Mandalore. That would definitely be my guess. So we're definitely going to have Mando next episode. Who else might show up? We don't know. I had a little thought earlier because everyone keeps throwing Han and Chewie around because, like, they would still be young at this time and young-ish. And apparently Han Solo's been, Harrison Ford's been rumored to have done something. Not sure yet. But if you remember, I think it was Days of Future Past, in the X-Men movie, where they're going around recruiting everybody. And they go to a certain bar or whatever. and Logan's there. And they just kind of walk up to him and he's just like, fuck off. Like, I could totally see that as being fucking Harrison Ford's little like Han Solo fucking cameo in that. He's just like him, Boba Fett coming up and just being like, I'd like to make you an offer. No hard feelings, but I'd like to make an offer or something like that. It's like, I still don't see him going to Harrison Ford, but I don't know. That'd just be a funny thing. Is just fucking Han Solo just being like, piss off, dude. Like, I'm not helping you. So who the fuck knows what's gonna happen next episode? I hope it's gonna be a long one, but according to the cast and everybody, 5, 6, 7 is where shit's gonna get nuts. So I'm definitely looking forward to the next week. This one was great. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Definitely fucking better than last week. We're back to some actual, like, I feel like I'm in Star Wars again. But other than that, if they're saying shit's getting crazy, I believe them, because shit's gonna be getting crazy. So, rock and roll, guys. Cheers. May the force be with you. I'll see you next week.